At the beginning of the movie, an unknown spaceship crashes into a lake in Seoul, Korea. It looks like it came from another galaxy. After a while, a person without clothes slowly crawls out of the hole and walks toward the city. In the next scene, we meet a couple who just got married and are very in love with each other. The husband, Man-gil, is smart and works hard. He does all the housework, even though his schedule is very full. So-hee, on the other hand, is always shopping and talking with her friends. She thinks she is the luckiest person on earth. Later that night, she goes to a high school gathering. They have been looking forward to this event for 3 years. Young-sun, one of her friends, wants to be an actress, but she slips and falls down the stairs, which is embarrassing. She tries to hide how embarrassed she is by saying she did it on purpose to get ready for her next action movie. Young-sun asks So-hee about her marriage as the talk between the school friends goes on. Our main character girl replies in a positive way, saying that her husband is a handsome, smart, and hard-working drug company owner. A few minutes later, the group starts talking about Sera, an old friend who killed her husband and went to jail for a while. She did it, but why? She said she saw him with other women when he was with her. So-hee comes home late from the party and finds her husband fast asleep. As she walks up to him, she sees that he missed a call from someone she doesn't know. As she checks more, she finds different texts, including one that says she will meet Man-gil on Friday. As expected, this worries So-hee, and she starts to think that her husband might be having a hidden affair outside. She looks up signs that a person is having an extramarital affair to see if she is right. One of the blogs says that these people will always say they are working overtime as an excuse. So-hee feels sad when she reads this because Man-gil already gave her the same reason. The next morning, she asks Man-gil on purpose what he has planned for Friday to invite him to a party for married people. But he says no, saying that he has to go to a funeral. To back up his lie, he says that the doctor told him that one of his friends would die on that Friday. So-hee's worries almost turn into certainty when she hears this answer. But she still goes to a detective named Dr. Jang to find out if what she thinks is true. She gives him a lot of money and asks him to watch her husband closely. In the next scene, Dr. Jang starts his plan to follow Man-gil and keep an eye on what he does. After watching him for a whole day, he meets So-hee and tells her everything he has learned. He says that Man-gil first went to a golf course and then worked out at the gym for 2 hours straight. But no matter where he went, women were always around him. Dr. Jang goes on to say that So-hee is not the only woman in Man-gil's life. Surprisingly, he has 3 other marriage certificates besides hers, and all of his other wives are lost or dead. The oddest thing is that he saw Man-gil at a gas station, where he drank $30 worth of gasoline. So-hee's young brain can't handle all of this information, so she just storms out of the room. That night, she thinks about killing her husband while he sleeps, but she quickly changes her mind. So-hee feels powerless, so she tells her friend Sera everything, including that she wants her husband killed. Sera, who has also been through 4 divorces, tells her that there is no such thing as a perfect husband after hearing her story. She also says that the story that she killed her husband is false, but that he deserved to die for what he did. At the same time, Man-gil is ruining the water at home so that he can kill his wife. The next day, So-hee goes to see Dr. Jang at his office. During their talk, the second person starts to think that Man-gil might not be a normal person. So-hee doesn't understand, so he shows her a book called Unbreakable, and assumes that her husband is a mutant species from another world. Dr. Jang says that he has dealt with similar cases in the past, but all of his clients have either disappeared or died in bad ways. But it's hard for So-hee to accept that her husband is a stranger. So, in order to convince her, Dr. Jang takes her to a gas station and shows her how her husband drinks gallons of gasoline. This leaves her completely shocked. On the other hand, the Extraterrestrial Life Form Quarantine Center, XCOM, sets up a secret meeting with space scientists, government leaders, and detective officers. The main goal of this meeting is to catch the aliens, who seem to be taking people's DNA and spreading bugs among humans. As the first step of their plan, they want to go after Man-gil, who is thought to be the boss of the alien group. Back at home, So-hee gets a water bottle from the fridge. She doesn't know that Man-gil had put poison in the same bottle earlier. She drinks the water, and as soon as she does, she falls to the ground. When Man-gil sees this, he runs to her side and acts as he cares about her health. But as soon as she loses consciousness, he calls his other alien friends to tell them that he has finished his task successfully. Later, So-hee is taken to the hospital, where the doctor breaks the sad news that she has passed away. Her school friends, who are also at the hospital, are sad about her early death. Sera arrives shortly after, and when she hears about what happened, she blames Man-gil. She starts hitting him and swearing at him. While all of this is going on, So-hee suddenly wakes up and spits out the poison she had eaten earlier. This has to surprise Man-gil, but he acts like he's happy. The next day, he goes to a shop run by one of his alien friends so he can buy a more powerful poison. But he didn't know that the cops were keeping a close eye on him. Later that night, Man-gil talks to his fellow aliens on the phone about how they are going to kill So-hee and get rid of her body. He laughs and says that it's his birthday today and that he wants to celebrate by making it So-hee's death day. So-hee asks Sera and Dr. Jang for help taking care of her husband in another place. After getting out of the hospital, the three of them come up with a plan to kill Man-gil with electricity. Dr. Jang has also made a cure for the aliens, which he plans to give to Man-gil if their first plan doesn't work. After that, the three of them go to So-hee's house and start setting up the trap there. Dr. Jang puts an electric line into the bathtub and hooks up the switch to a remote that looks like a lighter. The doorbell rings just as they finish setting up. Sera and Dr. Jang quickly hide in the bathroom, thinking it's Man-gil, while So-hee answers the door. Young-sun stands on the other side with a gun, which was a surprise. Dr. Jang turns out to be her boyfriend, whom she is looking for. It turns out that she got a message from an unknown number telling her that her boyfriend was cheating on her. Young-sun starts looking through the whole house and soon thinks that her boyfriend must be hiding in the bathroom. So, she breaks into the bathroom and finds Sera going to the bathroom. After staring at each other for a while, Young-sun apologizes awkwardly and walks away. But she doesn't know that Dr. Jang is hiding behind the curtain in the bathtub. Young-sun chooses to smoke a cigarette to calm down when she gets back to the living room. She picks up the same remote control lighter and accidentally kills Dr. Jang by pressing the button on it. When the girls heard the loud bang, they ran to the bathroom and started to worry. Fearing that the cops will catch them, Sera suggests that they put the body in the closet. But as they are doing this, Man-gil comes home out of the blue, which makes their problems even worse. So he is able to convince him to take a shower first, which gives them some time. And while the alien is lying in the tub listening to music, she takes the chance to kill him by pressing the button on the remote. The girls then slowly opened the door to the bathroom to see if he was okay. But they were shocked to find out that Man-gil was still living. As a quick answer, they act like it was a surprise party for his birthday. Later, when the party is in full swing, So-hee asks him to drink some poisoned wine that she had made earlier. Man-gil agrees right away and eats it, but nothing bad happens to him. Soon after, the closet phone rings, and Man-gil thinks someone has broken into their house. He goes to the room carefully and opens the closet, where Dr. Jang is lying down. The doctor opens his eyes, which is a surprise because it shows that he is still living. But Man-gil knocks him out again quickly because he thinks he is an invader. To hide what they did, the three girls come up with the smart idea that Man-gil buries the dead body. But just as they are getting ready to leave, Man-gil's alien helpers show up at their door. They plan to help him get rid of So-hee's body as planned. Man-gil. He tells them to wait until they come back from getting drinks inside. Then, Man-gil, the three girls, and Dr. Jang go to a nearby bush to bury him. Later, as Man-gil is digging the hole, So-hee hits him in the head with the shovel, knocking him out. The girls then start quickly burying both bodies together. But to their shock, the alien pops his head out of the ground and shows that he can't be hurt. The girls run to their car, which they then drive away from because they are scared. But the alien, who was too stubborn to give up, followed them with his superhuman skills and finally caught up with them. In the end, Man-gil falls down a hill after the car hits a rock. The girls, on the other hand, are not hurt at all. In the next scene, the three of them go back to So-hee's house and find that Man-gil's friends have died because of the poison wine. Since they have no other choice, they load the bodies into their car and plan to bury them all. But as they drive toward the forest, police officers stop them at a checkpoint and find out quickly that they are driving drunk. Because of this, the cops take them to the station. Dr. Jang is taken to the same station soon after. It turns out that he has lived again, but after the electric shock, he has forgotten everything. Police think he is a poor person who can't talk. Also, it turns out that Man-gil is still alive. He climbs up the hill and ends up in a strange house. There, he finds a bunch of fuel barrels. After he eats it, his wounds magically heal, making him healthy again. He then goes to the police station and borrows a phone to call So-hee. When he hears the phone ringing nearby, he looks behind and finds the three girls hiding. Man-gil jumps at the chance to help them out and says that they are his friends. He also takes Dr. Jang, offering to drop him off at the nearest shelter. Man-gil shows his true form after they leave the police station. He wants to kill So-hee and her friends. In fear, Sera pulls out a knife and stabs the alien in the head, but it doesn't hurt him. Because of the chaos, their car slides down a cliff and flips over. The girls are lucky that they only get minor bruises and are able to get away. Then, they run away, and the alien starts to chase after them. Soon after, the XCOM agents show up at the crash site and start looking for Man-gil. They find Dr. Jang in the rubble and take him with them. The girls try to hide from the alien in an abandoned building, but Man-gil has a great sense of smell and can easily find them. The XCOM police arrive just as he is about to kill So-hee. The two sides get into a fierce fight, but Man-gil beats the officers one by one with his greatest strength. In the middle of all the chaos, the three girls manage to sneak out of the building and find Jang in the officer's car. The doctor seems to have gotten back some of his lost memories, so he gives them a cure for the aliens that he made. So he quickly and bravely puts the cure into Man-gil's body from behind. This causes Man-gil to die and brings an end to the tense situation. The scene then changes to So-hee, Sera, and Young-sun having time together a year later. They seem to have gotten over the bad things that happened last year. They don't have boyfriends and don't plan to get one for the rest of their lives. At the end of the movie, Dr. Jang, who has now fully healed, shows up with flowers and joins them in their happiness. Share your thoughts in the comments, give us a like and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next videos.